I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to program the row board once the 24-volt capital vending module kit's installed. This would apply to a BC1200, 1400, or 3500. They all use the module kits. Basically, to get into the menu, I'm going to slide the switch up gently. Whoops. Slide the switch up gently, and I'm going to push this button here. And basically, I'm going to get past the programming password. For the beginning, I'm not going to deal with MC because most of my customers use the non-MC mode. So we're going to leave that off, and this allows you to have quarters and dollar coins or quarters and nickels or just all quarters or all tokens. This is going to be very typical when you start here that the coin value might be all quarters or dollar coins, something like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the value of these. And all of these need to be T1. So once I've changed that, I'm going to press the center button. It advances it. I press the button on the right, the value button, a couple times so it's to T1. And now I'm going to get all three to T1. So that's an important step. The next, I'm pushing this button on the far left. And this is going to basically tell me what bills are accepted. This is just going to be counterintuitive, but I just need you to follow the instructions. So accept $1, we're going to click no. $2, no, and I'm pushing the value button to advance. $5 we leave as yes. $10 we set as no. $20 we set as no. 25, this is critical, this must be set to yes. I'm going to press the value button. 25A stays no. 50, that's absolutely critical, so this must be set to yes. So my next step, I'm going to go and push this button on the left. And here it's 25 pay, and this actually is what we want. The 25 pay actually corresponds to the dollar bill being inserted, and it's just the way that the module interfaces with the kit. So don't look at this as 25 pay, this is the dollar payout. So basically right now this is programmed to pay 2 coins from the left hopper, 1 from the center, and 1 from the right. So that's perfectly good. As an example of what you could do, now here's the 50 pay. And so the 50 pay, this corresponds to a $5 bill being inserted. When you put in a $10 bill, it's double, or a $20 bill is quadruple. So typically, you would want this to be 20. So in other words, here I have it paying out 20 coins. The one good thing, that it's mandatory that you use the T1 values, but when you're doing those, if in the event that you wanted to pay out tokens, here if you were to advance this, like you can make this for a $5 bill, which is what you have here, pay out 21 coins. A $10 bill would be 42, and then the $20 bill would be 4 times 21, so it would be 84 for a $20 bill. Get 4 extra coins. So it will have to keep that mathematical theme, but it is possible to do that. So here we have how many coins we're paying out, and these buttons here kind of change the payout. So here I've advanced it. So if I have 7 coins coming out here, I can decrement this to 0. And so right now I have 0 coins coming out of the center hopper. Maybe my hopper motor broke. I'm going to press this hopper button again, and it advanced. But again, this 50 pay is most of my customers are going to want this to be 20 quarters. So now that I've made that 0, I have 7, 0. I'm going to increment this to 13. So I'm getting a total of 20 coins for a $5 bill, 40 for a 10, 80 for a $20 bill. So just pressing these buttons, again, if you make any mistakes pressing them, you will have to kind of come over here and press this button to kind of get back to where you need to be. But the programming is that easy. In the event that you have a challenge with this board or programming it, or if you're too busy or don't have time, if you send us these working control boards and an explanation of how you'd like it to be programmed, we'll do it for a $25 and test. Capital Vending also repairs these boards in the event that they're not working for a $125 flat rate fee, or that was our price when this video was made, 2018. So in the event you can't program it, or if it's too frustrating, send it to us. If your boards go bad, we'll program it. But again, the board must be working, and for a $25 fee, we'll program exactly what you want and spend 20 or 30 minutes testing it to make sure everything's in good order. But when you send it to us, it's mandatory you tell us what coin values you're wanting to pay out. Okay, I'm going to go over how easy it is to install the new 24-volt row update kit. So here we have a BC1200, and this is one of our more popular kits. And basically, what I'm going to be showing you is how the LEDs in the box work, and it'll kind of dramatically help you with troubleshooting. And this is going to show you how fast this is to install. But basically, on this machine, I need to remove the bill box. And what I'm trying to do is access the cord that originally went to the coin acceptor. So here I've unplugged it. I'm just going to connect this directly here. And just give you an idea, two of these pins here have flat edges. So if you match them up to the flat edges here, you'll know how to plug it in, because it's a 3x3 square, so there's almost 4 ways it could be plugged in. So basically, this is important. This is the next step with this particular kit. There's this little jumper here, and this is very important. So what we do is, this harness right here goes to the BA50. All this is going to be coming out, but basically, a very critical part of this kit, that this jumper goes into place. So once that's done, you've, except for programming the board, this kit's installed, and then of course we're going to mount the validator here. If you're familiar, Capital Vending made a 120 volt version of this kit. This is our new kit. The 24 volt version, it's just kind of got a lot of nice options. The better options I'm going to talk about is the use of these LEDs. As I'm turning this on now, this board takes 30 seconds to initialize, and the reason is it can interface with a credit card reader, and we just basically didn't want to have any noise on it. So what's going to happen here, I'm going to explain these LEDs as everything powers up. Basically, this red LED just indicates you have 5 volts from the host machine. This orange LED indicates you have 24 volts from the host machine. This LED right here basically is indicating that there's a good ground circuit. And what's going to happen here, after 30 seconds, this enable LED has come on. So at this point, this is ready to work. And if I go over here, when this is not working, this LED will not come on. So you have to set your dip switches, but basically when this LED is lit, and in some cases it could be green or multicolor, but when this is on, I would expect there to be a solid LED here. If there's not, then the issue is likely going to be the dip switches on your bill validator. So we have these LEDs. This helps us tell what's going on, and I'm going to just show you how I'm going to test it. There's 3 small buttons here. This top green button, when I push this, it basically simulates a dollar input, and you have to do this extremely fast. Like, you can't push it and hold it. It has to be like an electronic pulse. So when I push this, you're going to see this LED flash, and that LED should go off. So basically, this is how I know that the pulses are coming in from the bill validator. So when you're putting in dollars, if this is not blinking, the issue is with the bill validator. This being on green solid indicates that there's no problems with the machine. If this is off, you want to look at your control board. There'll be a status code showing, and then basically the row control board for the 1200, 1400, or 3500, based upon the status code, will tell you what to do. So this second button down basically is the payout for the $5 bill. So now this is paying out the coins, and basically the 5, 10, and 20 trigger this. And this blue button right here, I'm going to go ahead and push this, and you'll see this blue LED come on. And basically what this is doing, this is actually testing if a credit card is hooked up. So when you're putting cash in here, if you have a credit card telemeter, all the money that's going in here will be reported. So from your office, you can go online and see the amount of cash here if you want to, if you in fact want to update to that system. But this button gives you the ability to push it, and then you could go online and make sure that the board is working and that your telemeter is getting the input, and that it's going to report your cash sales. So again, just, these LEDs are critical in the event that you should be able to figure out what's going on, but if you have to call Capital Vending, the person on the phone is going to want to know what LEDs are blinking and then what troubleshooting you've done. Again, if this is not coming on, it's going to be a programming issue or an issue with your board, which you'll be able to fix. We would expect the orange and red, if those are not on, it's an issue with the power supply in the machine. And this is going to come on after 30 seconds, and we're ready to take money. And we feel that everything's in good shape with the dollar bill changer.